How's it going, guys? It's Peter Day with Optimize to Convert. This video is going to talk a little bit about our testing methodologies for Facebook. I imagine these could be used for other traffic sources as well, like Bing and Google search. And it all depends on your comfort level. It also depends on just how kind of optimistic you are about the opportunity. So what I mean by that is if you have an offer that you just feel very optimistic about, like you've spent a little bit, a couple $100 on Facebook, it's just looking wildly profitable immediately, you might be able to do what I'm saying, but just at a higher budget level, right? You might not need to start off at $100 a day or $200 a day. If it's just looking amazing almost day one or two, maybe you could just start at like $500 a day or $600 or $300 a day or higher or something. But in this video, I'm going to give some testing methodology for Facebook. So I'll talk a little bit about just what standard practices are on our team right now, and I'll give some insight. So our team is structured with media buyers right now. So my brother and I got to the point where my brother and I are still running a little bit of Facebook ads ourselves right now, but our business just got to the point where it's gotten so much going on that we have to have a team, because we actually have so many campaigns going and so many offers going that it's been difficult. It's almost impossible for my brother and I to be actually running all those Facebook ads. I think even in the car loan space alone, we have like 12. I would have to like literally figure out how many campaigns. It's like we have like 8, 12 campaigns in car loans. Car insurance, we got all these campaigns. We have all these campaigns. We're about to launch one in solar. It's a good thing, but we have more campaigns than we've been able to really even keep track of recently without like spreadsheets and notes of what's going on. We hired a full-time accountant to be overseeing the whole operation, just to make sure that everything is staying with ducks in a row in terms of the accounting and just the, you have to really keep accounting for the campaigns. So for example, how we're structured right now is we have 4 full-time internal media buyers, and we want more, but we want good people, and I'll talk about that in the end of this video. We are looking for a couple more media buyers to join our team this year. I'll explain it more at the end, but how we're structured right now is we have 4 full-time media buyers, and then my brother and I are still running some Facebook ads right now, but we've been running more sensitive things. My brother's handling some YouTube right now, and I've been overseeing 1 or 2 Facebook accounts right now, but the majority of all the traffic has been run by our team, and we're really proud of our team. The 4 guys on our team right now are absolutely exceptional. We pay our team members on a commission basis. It's been a profit share basis. So essentially the media buyers have been able to run the campaigns on our bankroll, but then at the same time, they've been able to share in the profits of the campaigns. We've actually had one media buyer do over $120,000 a month on his profit share. We've had many media buyers be able to do 10 or 20 grand a month. We have one media buyer that's newer that is on pace to do about $15,000 in profit this month on his end. This is all with internal media buyers. So I bring that up so you can kind of understand how we're structured. So we have media buyers, and then we have an accounting person overseeing these media buyers so that Tyler and I can just go to sleep at night knowing that it's not getting reckless. And that was an important decision we needed to do recently. Now, what I need you guys to realize is that our business wasn't always structured like this. It's been kind of a evolution in a sense. When we started, it was literally just me and Tyler running all the Facebook ads ourselves because we only had like 1 or 2 campaigns. If you're only running 1 or 2 campaigns, you could just do it yourself. But at this point, we're running so many campaigns that I would have to, I would literally have to spend like 20 or 30 minutes right now, maybe just like sitting down and like brainstorming and even like writing down like all the campaigns we've been running. Is more than I've been able to rattle off from memory in just like a 5-second little clip or something. But what that means is you need a very good structure. And what it means is you have to have very good systems, and you have to go from somewhere to something. So for example, what I don't really recommend you guys doing if you're watching this video is, if you're newer, I really don't recommend trying to set up a structure like we have immediately, because this kind of structure costs a lot of money compared to what it used to be. Like for example, we have to pay all these media buyers slivers of the profit, which is fine, at least it's performance, but we have to pay the accounting person. There's just, we're hiring an operations person pretty soon, and that kind of salary is like $80,000 a year or so just for operations person. So the thing with this model is it really works, but you have to kind of evolve to it, because if you're new, unless you, I guess, have a boatload of money and you can just kind of do this thing off the bat, but if you're new, you kind of have to start off with yourself in a small team maybe, and then move your way up to kind of a more sophisticated model. So when we started, it was just my brother and I running the ads, and then we got our first media buyer. So let's talk about getting the first media buyer. The first media buyer was on commission only with what's called a draw. Okay, so what that means is, I think we put this media buyer at around a 33% split. Like a very common split for us for media buyers has been 33%. The way we look at it is basically when the campaign profits, I've been able to get 33%, my brother's been able to get 33% of the profit, and the media buyer's been able to get 33% of the profit. So even though my brother and I are a team, we still have to pay each other individually at the end of the day, because we've been splitting profits. So what we've been pitching media buyers is essentially this this 33% split, so kind of a third between each of us involved. And then so this first media buyer that we brought on was around that split, and we set up a draw. So what a draw means is that if the commissions were not good enough, they would get some money. So I think we told this media buyer that we would give them commission only. However, we would kind of like prepay some commission. So basically the media buyer was supposed to be at a commission, but then if the commission was not met, they would get a draw. And what the draw means is it would come out of future commissions. So what we did with this media buyer is we put this media buyer on a draw for his first like 5 or 6 months. And to be honest, he didn't really make that much money his first 5 or 6 months. So he was kind of going into the draw. Like we were paying him $4,000 a month when he was only making like $2,000 a month. But then what happened was he ended up getting some successful campaigns, and he ended up having like a $60,000 a month. And then this is the same guy that ended up having like a $100,000 a month, an $80,000 a month, numbers like that. And the draw was helpful in this circumstance because it was our first media buyer. We were kind of desperate for help at the time, and we were kind of desperate for another media buyer at the time. So we said, okay, we could convince this guy to do it if we give him some kind of base pay and a commission. What I recommend you do is really try to get your media buyers on commission only, but if you have to give a base pay just to get them to do it full time, then you might want to consider that, because this media buyer, he was in college and he was working another job. And what we told the media buyer was that if you quit your job, we'll give you a guaranteed $4,000 a month as a draw against future commission. So we were able to get him to quit his job to do it. Nowadays, we're not offering any base pay guarantees for our media buyers. The reason why is because it's such a competitive position. We only have 4 media buyers at the time that I'm recording this video. So if a 5th one wants to join, I mean, it's a very competitive spot. We've gotten hundreds and hundreds of people to apply for the media buyer position, and we're only picking like 1 or 2 more this year is our plan right now. So what we're doing right now for media buyer structure, if you were to apply to be a media buyer with us, you would basically get a 33% profit share of the campaign, and you would have the ability to buy the media on our credit cards, which means if you have campaigns and you want to scale to 50 grand a day or 20 grand a day, you're allowed to scale as much as we can handle. And we can handle a lot because we've built up a good bankroll, and we also have some loans and investment money that is able to back us as well. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is I'll talk a little bit about the media buyer application just because it's been kind of on my mind. We are looking for one or two more media buyers this year. I really like working personally with the media buyers. We work extremely one-on-one with the media, and that's why we only have 4 media buyers right now, is we work extremely one-on-one with them. And when I say extremely one-on-one, like I've been on the phone with hours every day for the last couple weeks with like one of our new media buyers, like getting some campaigns profitable and things like that. So it's a very one-on-one position. I'm just going to set some expectations though. I really encourage you to apply. The reason why is because you never know, even if you apply now and we don't have a position for you now, you never know if something opens up 8 months later, because we do keep track of these applications. So let's say you apply to be on our media buying team today and we really don't need another person today, but then we do need another person in December or something. We are definitely keeping in mind like the people that have applied and stuff. So I encourage you to apply even if it's not an immediate thing. And if you click below this YouTube video, you have to be watching this most likely on YouTube to see the link, because I'm going to post this video in the Facebook group and maybe on our blog and other places. But you're going to have to view this video on YouTube. Go to the description of the video, and I'm going to put a media buyer application there. And if that's something you want to do, just fill it out. And my brother Tyler will most likely be in contact with you right away about the application, and he'll let you know next steps. We have a little bit of a vetting process to see if you're the right fit. But if it's something you're interested in, I definitely encourage you to do it. Again, the benefits are being able to buy the media on our credit cards and getting a 33% profit share of those campaigns right now, and being able to just run amazing campaigns that we've been getting. So it's a good opportunity, and I encourage you to apply at the link below this video. And you have to be watching this on YouTube. So if you're watching this in the Facebook group or on our blog, you're gonna have to figure out how to actually view this video on YouTube, because the link is in the YouTube description area. Let's talk about other things. I'm going to talk a little bit now about testing campaigns. So when I'm working with a media buyer right now, I've been encouraging them to test at $100 to $200 a day right off the bat. And the reason for that is because it's been able to help us get some idea of how the campaign's going. But then if a campaign has been going well, like we launched a campaign yesterday with one of our newer media buyers, and it's already profitable. So what we're going to do in that case is we're going to continue spending about $100 to $200 a day for the next 5 days, just to kind of warm up the Facebook account. Facebook hasn't always liked it when you've just jacked up the budgets really fast, but we'll spend about $100 to $200 a day for the next week or maybe 5 days. And then what I'm going to be encouraging this media buyer to do is probably immediately jack up the budgets to about, I think I'm going to have him do 4 campaigns, and each of the campaigns are going to be about $300 budgets. And what that's going to do is it's going to jack up the spend to about $1,200 a day immediately and start making us some more significant money on that campaign. So that's a little bit of a model right now that we have. We've been starting campaigns at $100 to $200 testing budget. And as soon as it's become profitable, we've really liked to attempt to scale it pretty hard. So what that has meant for us at first has been 4 campaigns in that ad account at $300 budget each, because that gives us the ability to spend about $1,200 a day immediately. And then if that's looking good, we can bump those budgets up to $600. We have not really gone above $600 on campaign budgets recently. We've just found like $300 to $600 budgets per campaign. You can have more than one campaign. You can have an ad account with like 4 or 5 campaigns, and each of them at like $300. At $300 to $600 per campaign has been like a nice sweet spot. And then you could also scale across multiple Facebook accounts. So maybe you can have one Facebook account running some ads and another Facebook account running other ads for the same vertical and offer and campaign. So you can scale horizontally like that. And then, but I recommend starting off campaigns at $100 to $200 a day just to get a feel for them. I really don't recommend starting campaigns on Facebook at like $400 or $500 a day unless you're very, very positive and optimistic about the opportunity and you just think that's a smart thing to do. I'm going to have more videos that are going to talk about our processes, but in this video I wanted to talk about kind of how we structured. I wanted to talk about that evolution of how we really started off as just single affiliates. You have to remember that 5 or 6 years ago, Tyler and I were just starting to get initial success in this. It was just Tyler and I. And then about 3 years ago, we hired that first media buyer. Now we have 4 amazing full-time media buyers that we're so proud of. and we're looking for 1 or 2 more this year to really help crush our campaigns and bring things to the next level. And guys, we're growing. Probably next year in 2021, we'll want a couple more media buyers. So fill out that application if you're interested in us contacting you about the media buyer opportunity. And I'm going to put out more videos in a little bit. We'll talk soon. All right. Enjoy your day. Bye.